Three. Hey, I said cue the talent. Two. And one. Attention hobbyists, sports fans, and collectors nationwide and abroad. It's time to get hype. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! About the hobby we are all a part of. Live from the Mojo Break Studios, it's Dan and Doug. Check it out. Come on! So, get hype. Be hype. This is The Hype.
What is going down, everybody? Super producer Doug in the house. You can see C-Rad is over there chilling. He's stuck on pause, but I'm joined by Dan. What's going on, dude?
What's going on? I like a little S-Jacks up there.
It is.
There we are. It's the best 39 you can come up with, huh?
I think so. Yeah, it was
pretty
hard.
He's pretty damn good. He's a Niner killer.
He carried the whole team on his back.
He did, literally.
2 wins a year.
He did.
It was a great season for him.
Ruined his career. Yeah, here we are. There's C-Rad.
There he is. He's saying what's up.
There he is. Dude, you're in space now.
I am.
Look at you. It's Doug in space. So, what's going on?
We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I'm thrown off by my new position here, but we've got we're going to talk some Ohtani. We're going to talk about some tributes. We're going to talk some game used versus player worn, and then we're going to end it with flawless, and we're going to get right into breaks, guys. So we've got Optic breaking right after the show. Teams on sale. We're going to try to go for some gold vinyls as well as some big autos. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, so you excited for Optic and Flawless?
Flawless is great. I know I'll save everything for later. I'm not going to, dive too much into it right now. But Optic, I don't know. Is it going to be as good as first off the line? Is Fast Break going to be the one that everybody's looking for? Is Optic Regular going to be it? I don't know.
Shiny.
I don't know. It's just another basketball release in a crazy, crazy year. So we're going to keep it going, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, how much is too much shiny?
I don't know. You do know the Flawless release today was the end of the 2017 football releases.
No,
So-
I think they're going to make 5 more.
No, that was it. So how do you feel? Little
They got Flawless Optic coming out.
2017 Panini football improv review.
It was a roller coaster of emotions, to say the least. It was. It started off with a lot of hope, and then towards the midway point of the season of releases, there was pain behind the eyes, and then at the end of the season, there was a lot more hope. So they killed it in the last 6 releases. They mailed it in for like the middle 7 releases, and the beginning releases were kind of in the middle.
So you're saying trim the fat, huh? Just get rid of the middle.
Get rid of the middle, I guess.
Let's have a.
That's what my wife keeps telling me. Get rid of the middle.
Get rid of the middle. Trim the fat.
Yeah. What do you think?
I thought it was like you said, a lot of peaks and valleys. It would have been a completely different year if Watson played all season, didn't get hurt.
Right.
I think that would have carried the middle portion of the releases. I think once he got hurt, Trubisky wasn't performing. Kaiser wasn't doing much. Fournette was having a good year, but Fournette plays for Jacksonville. Yeah. And I think that kind of hurt.
Are they in the NFL or?
They are.
Okay.
They are.
Yeah.
Legit.
All right.
Yeah. McCaffrey had a good year, serviceable, but didn't do anything to stand out. But you had Kamara that had a good year. Kareem Hunt started off on fire. Right when you needed him in the middle of the season when Watson got hurt, you needed him to perform like he was in the first couple weeks. He didn't. He kind of fell off. So there was a lot of things that really went into that middle portion of the releases that kind of tapered off.
And when your team sucks, you probably don't want to collect their cards as much. And I think, like we've mentioned before in other episodes of the Hype, I think because this rookie class shown, I don't know how to speak English, some hope at the end with the guys that Dan just talked about. I think there's a tremendous amount of hype going into the next season. So everybody's now collecting these last releases, NT, Select. I mean, even Plates and Patches was good. So at the end of the season, I think now that the guys weren't sucking because they weren't playing or they weren't hurt, like Watson's case, well, he's still hurt, but it helped it out. And going into the next season, everybody's trying to load up on these guys just in case the boom happens and they have those cards. Is my take on it. So.
And I am correct. That was the last release, right? There isn't another release that I don't know about.
There's a there's David in the chat confirmed there's a flawless optic and case contenders coming out. So
I just
kidding.
because I know they're coming out with an 18 product soon, right?
They are
Elite Draft, I think, is the first one.
And you know what? I didn't even realize. Let's give a hand that they actually didn't overlap years this year. They actually released the last that we think, and they're going to be ready to go right into the 18 without having 17 overlap, which I think is the first time in a couple years.
Yeah, we're doing it, and get excited for 2018. 2018 is going to be. On paper, it looks like it's going to be insane. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be a lot of fun. We can also talk about the great trade for the Rams, Brandon Cooks.
Well, we'll see.
No first-round pick for the Rams, but we got Brandon Cooks from Stockton, California.
Rams are going all in.
Former Beaver.
Yep. And Frank, we'll answer that after the show, buddy. We'll look into that and send you a link if not. Brandon Cooks. But I wanted to get into Shohei Ohtani. Hit a home run yesterday. Got his first win a week before, about. So he's kind of living up to his hype at this point. Cards are going up a little bit. What do you think, Dan? I mean, do you think there's a higher ceiling for this guy? What do you think about Ohtani?
Oh, yeah. It was, 2 weeks ago we were talking about Ohtani. Actually, maybe even last week's show. It was doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Was he going to make the team? He shouldn't be in the majors. The guy's a scrub, can't do anything. People are out of their minds trying to collect him. Comes out. I think he's batting over 400. He has a win. He's pitched for a win. I think he went 6 innings. His home run swing last night was phenomenal.
Pretty sweet.
It looked pretty good.
Nice stroke.
We're going to jump right into it with the tops now.
Well,
that will kind of show you where is the ceiling. I think right now we have no idea. No idea.
Well, I think right here you're seeing I'm showing some eBay data on the screen. So if you're listening on the podcast, I apologize. You're not going to be able to see this, obviously, unless you're super magical powers. But Gypsy Queen Shohei Ohtani rookie auto black and white, number to $50, $600. I think if he didn't hit that home run, I think that's about a $300 or $400 card, to be honest. So somebody got lucky, had their auction end right on the day he hit the home run. So you're seeing, I mean, redemptions, 530. You're seeing the Heritage go for 620. I mean, good prices. So they've definitely rebounded just after, and that shows you in this hobby how quickly somebody can turn around and people will start buying them again.
I want to see what those cards sold for about 10 days ago, when it was like he can't hit. He's got a hole in his swing. He can't pitch. He's garbage.
Well, I'm getting close
because I think we saw about a 40 to 50% increase in the last couple days.
I think so. I mean, you look right here. There was a $300 Donruss. Go down 640, 578. Same card. So right there. So you can see April 1st, same exact card, $475. Hits a home run, gets a win. And you're looking, what did I say? We were looking at $605. It's a $150 swing.
Well, I think
$150 swing in 3 days.
I think that one that ended for $475, that was right after he pitched.
Yeah.
So I'd actually like to see something. I'd like to see that card back farther than that. But he looks good. Is he going to be an all-star? I don't know. but he's exciting. I mean, we have seen that he. It looks like after he pitches, they don't have him in a lineup the next day, which is understandable.
Right.
Throw 100 pitches, and you probably don't want to go out there and swing the bat.
Well, yeah, so he's not going to really probably break any records, right? So, I mean, that's something to consider as, somebody. He's not going to have 100 home runs, 70 home runs in a season, or he's not going to have 20 wins probably. Well, I guess 20 wins are more likely. So, but
let's ask C-Red.
Yeah, C-Red, what do you think?
You don't know?
He thinks he said winning.
Oh, okay.
Winning.
I thought I heard something about the Raiders or
oh yeah,
A's or something.
I think he was saying something Oaktown and how Dave Dollar or
Oaktown.
something. Yeah. Professed his love for Conor McGregor, which I love too. But yeah, Ohtani. And then I wanted to look at Topps Now data. So Topps Now they just print money. It's crazy. I mean, it's something that they do. If you're not familiar with Topps Now, they do it based on the moment. So they obviously Ohtani hits a home run. They're able to release these cards. You could pre-order them and stuff like that. So they released some autos today of Ohtani, and I could not believe the prices. And I'm trying to find it, and I can't bring it up right now. I don't know why I can't.
I was gonna say, show us the info, Doug.
I know. Let me grab my.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Topps Now cards and my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I actually think the cards forever. I don't like the design of the Topps Now. I think they look a little cheap, a little generic.
The Topps Now cards.
The Topps Now cards themselves, like the designs, don't do anything for me. It seems like depending on the whatever like film they put on it, the ink kind of gets a little smudgy a little bit. It's weird.
It does. The quality control's not as much
like
there.
I've seen more like autos that are kind of faded and smudgy on Topps Now cards, and I've seen on pretty much anything else they release.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a cheap card stock.
It's very glossy though, as far as more like a stadium club type. But yeah, it would be nicer if it was thicker cards. So this is what we got here. So they released the first home run card. You can buy the actual card for $9.99, and they'll state the print run after the 24-hour time span. So in this one, it's probably going to be like 1,500 to 2,000 cards minimum. My take. But then you could buy the number to 99 auto. Well, actually, you can't buy it anymore because it's sold out. So these released at noon Pacific-ish, noon to 1 from what I could tell. And I was able to get one, which I probably overpaid. But it's out of stock now. So $449 for the number to 99. The number to 49 was $549. That's out of stock. The numbered to 25 was $1,000. And that's out of stock. The number to 10, $2,000. The number to 5, $3,000. And for just only $6,000, you can get the 101. So
you know what I gotta say? I gotta give props to Topps on their e-commerce portion of their website. Have you really had any issues with the Topps Now?
No 502 error this time.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot more than 120,000 websites.
Yeah, I mean there was
Topps.
I mean you gotta imagine the amount of traffic that was pouring through that page itself. And I'm on Twitter. I don't see any complaints about, what's going on, Topps? Like I couldn't check out with so-and-so's card. Never really have an issue. So maybe they can help out Panini with their platform. What do you think?
I think they could. And these manufacturers get along so well. I mean, I'm sure they could just hold hands and figure it out together. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to crush each other or anything or have exclusive licenses or anything like that.
No.
Not at all, man. It's all love, brother.
No.
It's all love. You know, homie hugs when you
But
see each other.
getting back to just straight printing money, homie.
Somebody, I'm sure that somebody's already done the math, but just imagine. So this has been, from what I could tell, it may have sold out hours ago already. I went on there. I actually could have bought the 101.
Should have.
Could have.
Should have.
Should have. $6,000. I don't know. I'd have
Should've.
to take a mortgage out on my car because I don't have a house. But I could have bought it, but I didn't. I bought the number to the regular one for $450, which seems like it's a lot. But they're all sold out. Somebody do the math. They probably made $150,000 in like an hour.
Well, let's speculate here. How much do you think they're paying Ohtani to sign per card? Now he doesn't. Now take for granted he doesn't. The ones that are numbered to 449 is going to cost them the same amount as the one they're selling for $6,000.
Well, what I didn't catch, I might have at the $1,000 level, you get an inscription of first home run. So the other ones don't. So maybe they pay him more for that.
They pay him an extra $5 per auto to get the first home run. But how much do you think? Let's speculate. How much do you think Topps is paying Ohtani per auto? $60?
That was exactly what I was going to say. Read my mind. $60.
$60 an auto?
Yeah.
I'm not a math genius, but woo.
Yeah, I mean that's literally. I mean it's.
I mean even if it's $100. Yeah. And it should be it shouldn't be singles up there. It should be straight Benjamins.
Yeah, hundreds. Well, that's out of my wallet. That's all I got.
That's you got.
I saw $30 in there. 40.
I saw 10 in there.
I don't have that. I don't have that Topps now.
It really dried up. Is that all? Oh, there you go. There you go.
It's a stock video.
Okay, there you go. Now you're back in the money. Now you're back doing it. Oh, you're out of money.
Out of money. What do you think then, Jeff? Jeff says he doesn't think it's 60. What do you think? You think it's less than that? I mean, he is. Pardon my French. He's a signing whore at the moment. He signed for everybody. I mean, Leaf, Walmart, Topps, Panini. He's in everything. So there's not going to be any shortage of Ohtani autos. So maybe it's a little less. I don't know. Maybe he does bulk deals. Maybe it's like.
Well, I mean, if it's you think it's less than 60, or you think it can't be any more than $100.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's about $60.
$60.
I think it's about I think so.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It could be a contract. It could be a this amount or this amount of hours we pay you, how much you can get done in this amount of time. So who knows? I mean,
but at some point you can break it down from a monetary standpoint per auto, regardless of what the contract says. Like per auto, you can basically break it down.
Well, he's saying, and that's a good point. Ryan Sandberg charges $50, so he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, I know he probably has a lot more autos on the market than Ohtani. I mean, I wonder if they use that when they're negotiating, saying, we pay Ryan Sandberg $50, so I know you asked for $50, but you're more in like the $20 range. I wonder if that goes down.
Or they're like the first. She may be in there.
Oh, we have a special guest appearance.
Yeah. We got a.
Oh, nice.
It's the first time that's happened.
We predicted it was going to happen at some point. See if he wants. Is it the delivery?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. We're good.
All right.
This segment is brought to you by UPS.
Nice. We'd like to thank them for bringing our flawless and our optic. But anyways, I wanted to get into a review of Tribute, where you can find Ohtani autos. I believe they're in there. And it looks like we got about 9 minutes before we get into the first break. So we'll cover these topics real quick. Tribute came out, and it's got some nice chase. I mean, you've got beautiful cards like that one there, and you have the Sandy Koufax Tribute card. They're all on cards, so it's pretty much Tribute regular. I mean, one of the good things about Tribute is what you see here with this Manny Machado card is they have game-dated jersey cards. So you can actually follow what game he wore that on based on the code, which is very cool because it adds another element of chase to the product because maybe you're at that game or maybe it's a 4-home run game that he hit. So they've got that. Where I feel like it missed the mark is what they did in 2016 with Superfractors. There was no Superfractors in here, so I feel like it was missing an extra element of chase, whether it be a Superfractor, a bat knob, something that kind of made an extra like $2,000 or $3,000 card kind of chase for a $275 box. Like I just felt like it was missing that. It's got Ohtani, who's a redemption. It's got Devers. It's got Judge. It's got Jeter. You've got the names you want, but I don't know. I just feel like it's just missing something, or maybe the price point is just a little bit too high. What do you think, Dan?
Well, my issue is strictly with the price point. Now, it's difficult to say this because this is probably a release by Topps that they make probably the least amount of money on this because it costs these players, especially a lot of the vets and legends they put in here, it costs them a lot to get them to sign these cards. On-card autos probably sign. It's probably a little bit more. Sandy Koufax, they put a lot of vets and legends in here. It's not extremely rookie and prospect based. It's actually, there's no prospects. There's some rookie stuff in there. But I think for a long time, it's been about $50 too much per box.
Yeah.
It needs to be in like the 210 to 225 range and getting 6 hits.
Yeah.
It's just a little too pricey. But again, I don't think they can produce this product with this content and have it be under 275.
No, and I think they release it at the right time because I don't think this can come out after like a definitive or after like a dynasty. It has to come out now. So I think that they release it at the right time, but I feel like either the box price needs to be a little bit less, or they need to include like the superfractors again, which I don't understand why you wouldn't have superfractors. I mean, you had them. It's not like it's affecting Bowman superfractors. You wouldn't think it would cost that much more to make it.
Let's keep superfractors. Let's keep them special. Let's not put superfractors in everything. Let's keep them special.
Well, maybe that's what they thought. Well, then it needs something else.
Let's hold on to the one thing that is consistent and special and limited.
Yeah.
Let's please. I mean, we're diluting everything. Let's keep some standards here.
What are you saying? Overproduction? Are you crazy?
Just keep the superfractors in certain products.
I hear you.
If it's not a chrome card, it doesn't deserve a superfractor. And Tribute's not a chrome card.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. That's it.
So no superfractor dynasty cards.
No superfractor dynasty card.
No superfractor.
We can do this all day.
Definitive cards.
No.
Man, dude. What about superfractor cards? It's like a double superfractor. It's
Superfractor.
Like
I'm telling you.
Double rainbow.
Just stop, because there is going to be a superfractor on the front and back. They're just going to put the superfractor. They're all, okay, so you can get the regular superfractor, then we have the superfractor front and back, which, dude, it'll happen. It will happen. They'll put the superfractor film on the back of the card, and they'll be like, now there's two superfractors per player.
And then it comes with a pair of gloves too, so you don't get any fingerprints on it in the box.
Big giant like mittens.
Well, we've got Optic breaking next. If you guys are watching the show, thank you guys first off, thank you for watching the show. C-Rad's working into the night, so we gave him the show off. So we're running the 2-man crew. I mean, he's actually right there. He's just thinking about what he's going to say.
He's here. It's just his video feed has paused, and we can't figure out how to unpause it. He's buffering right now.
Yeah, he's at YouTube Studios.
He's
buffering.
No,
I'm just kidding. But he's buffering a little bit. But we've got Optic coming up next. We've also got more Flawless today, guys. So check out the schedule, mojobreak.com. We also have the release of our own product on Friday called Rare Numbers. $25.99 a spot. It's a random number buyback. So the possibilities are endless, and we have everybody in there. Ben Simmons, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, Judge, Ohtani. Anybody you could think of is in the product. 20-case run. We're debuting 4 cases on Friday, so $25.99 a spot. And if you buy in early, you get a chance to win bonus spots as well on those ones that are have 50 or more left. So be sure to check that out. But I wanted to have a quick discussion because there's been some products that have came out that have that normally have game-used relics in it. And a lot of them are saying player worn now. So I wanted to get your guys' opinion in the chat. I wanted to get Dan's opinion on it, and we'll have a discussion. For example, that is a player worn, and that's the verbiage on the back of that. And that's a high-end product, so it's a player worn jersey. Now, that's very loosely termed. So that can mean another player wore it. That could mean they ran into Charles Woodson in a Walmart and had him throw on a jersey. That could mean at the signing session he wore 20 jerseys. It's very loose. So to me, player worn is okay when it's rookies. We all know if you're new to this hobby, the NFL Rookie Premiere, they wear a bunch of jerseys during the NFL Rookie Premiere right after they're drafted. Those cards get cut up and they get put in every card because the rookie's not going to play a game. But the vet has been game worn over the last couple years until recently with a few of these Panini releases. They've been player worn and on Vets and Legends. So I personally don't like that. I don't know if it's a cost thing, but it's a little frustrating in a high-end product to not have a game-worn jersey. What are your thoughts, Dan?
Oh man, how do I spin this in the way that player worn is a good thing?
Well, I know.
No, it's almost impossible. So the one way everybody wants prime patches, like big chunky prime patches, multicolor. You're not gonna get that if everything is game worn. They got to use the whole jersey, and obviously game worn jerseys are more expensive to obtain than player worn jerseys.
Right.
Now, the verbiage on the back, you're correct. Player worn doesn't necessarily mean a specific player. At least that's what I get from it.
Could be a player.
But I don't think there should be any vet player worn relics in ultra high end releases as National Treasures and Flawless. A Flawless, I can't believe they would put a player worn prime relic in a box that's $1,200.
So would you just prefer him to just have an on card auto with that player and just not even have a jersey auto then?
Yeah, I would prefer that. Or I would actually prefer a single color relic that is game worn than a premium patch that is multicolor that's player worn. That's my opinion. That is probably not the popular opinion, but that's my opinion.
Jonathan says, I think more players are trading jerseys after the game and maybe keeping them these days. That could be hurting Panini's chances of getting their hands on game-worn jerseys.
There's a price for everything.
And Chad says players have to buy their jerseys for $300 a pop. The team actually owns them, not the players. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good deal though. If you're Kobe Bryant, which you can see in this next slide, jersey sells for $7,000.
Oh man!
So
go back to the other slide. That doesn't look like Kobe. No.
Oh yeah, right here.
That's not Kobe Bryant. That's Sonny Gray.
I had to skip a few slides. I wanted to show what Topps does with certain releases is they have that game date. So they have that MLB authentication logo where you know it's tracked to a certain game. So my thing is it too expensive for them? I mean, as you can see, I mean, not everybody's going to be Kobe Bryant price. You know, and this is an auction jersey, 96 Kobe Bryant, and that's a rookie game jersey, so that's probably going to be a little bit more expensive. But most jerseys are probably going to be at least $2,000. I don't know if Panini gets a deal from the NFL because they're part of the union. I don't know. I don't know if the NFL gives it to them.
I don't think they give them.
Or give it to but give them a deal rather than the public or an auction or whatever. Because you see when the NFL does an auction and you see these jerseys like a Cam Newton game. Remember we were bidding on them?
Oh yeah, they'll go
like
for
$10,000.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So there's no way they can, even if they're going to make 7,000 cards out of it, probably isn't financially. It doesn't make sense. So they, I don't know, but they used to have a lot more game worn. Now they're going more to the player worn.
Even 5, 6, 7 years ago when we were doing this, every relic. I remember doing like certified football, and every relic that was either a vet or a legend was game used. There were no player worn. You wouldn't get like a Terry Bradshaw relic that was player worn. Mm-hmm. That didn't exist.
Right.
You would, even if it was single color or prime, it was always game used. So you've seen that transition in the last couple years where a lot of these vets and legends, now they're getting player worn jerseys now, and you're seeing Mitchell and Ness jerseys where we know those were not game used. They're throwback unis.
I mean, is it a matter of they just literally cannot? I mean, how many Terry Bradshaw game used jerseys can there really be out on the market, right? So maybe it's a situation where they can't even find them if they wanted them.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it is a limited resource. The longer this goes on, the less you're going to be able to find jerseys of these players, especially with football. Football, we're talking 16 games.
Right.
So I don't know if players switch out jerseys at halftime. I mean, maybe some of them do, but some of them don't. So they only, there may be players who only have 16 jerseys in a year.
Exactly. Yeah, and then they keep them or they trade them.
They keep them, trade them, they buy them, they hang them up on their wall. I don't know what they do with them, but they're probably not on the phone with Panini saying, "Hey, give me $5 so you can have my jersey."
Right, exactly.
And the people, players that like the Cam Newtons and like the Aaron Rodgers and like the Brett Favres and stuff like that are probably not actively looking to sell their jerseys for a couple $100. One, they don't need the money. Two, they probably can't be bothered with actually doing the work to get a couple $100.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I would love to talk to somebody or find some info about how they acquire the game used jerseys, like if the NFL allots them a certain amount at a certain price, or if they have to go to each player directly to try to grab the jersey or buy the jersey for the player. Because you could see a lot of Cowboy jerseys on their website and a lot of Cowboy game worn, obviously, because they're in Texas. But it's interesting. But you've seen the trend. I mean, always the rookie is player worn because it's a rookie premier event worn jersey. And then normally their second and third year, like you'll see a Russell Wilson 2013 card because he was a rookie in 2012. That'll be player worn because those will still be jerseys that they had at the rookie premiere. And then 2013, it'll be, 2014, it'll still be player worn and stuff like that. So, you'll still have that. But you used to never have the legends and the vets that were player worn. And now you're seeing those guys become player worn as well. So literally 70 to 80% of the product or 90% of the product is all player worn now. So at what point do we why don't you just manufacture them? Why don't we just do the Topps approach or the Upper Deck approach? And then every card, if it's player worn, what's the difference of just putting a freaking NFL shield at every card then? I mean, there's no difference.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm just saying.
What are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to flood the market even more with sick patches.
Wake up and pissing everybody's Wheaties today.
No, I mean, those manufactured patches that you pull out of the Upper Deck products, and you're like, they're like numbered to 90, and you're like, holy crap, this is insane. And then you're like, manufactured. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's weird because specifically in Flawless today, we pulled an Aaron Rodgers 2-color prime player worn.
Yeah.
Downer. A little bit of a downer, right?
Yeah. Especially at Flawless, yeah.
Pulled a Tyrod Taylor prime patch, game used.
And he's been game used all year, so I think they've got a couple jerseys from him.
It's weird because you are seeing a connection between all the releases and a game-worn jersey over player-worn.
Yep.
Another
and like
connection.
Cole Beasley's been game-worn all year.
And Jarvis Landry.
Yep.
Also.
Yep.
So I opening up as much product, I almost know the inventory that Panini got.
Yeah.
And we know what players are actually, they have jerseys that are going to be player-worn or not. That LaDainian Tomlinson that we pulled today, that was game used.
Yep. Chad T makes a good point. I think game used eventually over time will carry a premium. Yes. And to actually find the bright side of all these player worn, at least they're being transparent, right? So, I mean, they could have easily said game worn, and it wasn't. And who would know because they're the ones who are certifying it. So at least they're being transparent. So that's a positive step, right? Because, who knows what goes on with some of these jerseys and things like that.
Well,
we don't know. We don't have any authentication on the jerseys themselves.
I think because there's been a lot more of an internet presence with Group Breakers, for instance, going to the rookie premiere, manufacturers had to basically pull back the curtain, so they couldn't really lie about it because it was out in the open and people saw what was actually happening.
Right.
So at that point, I think they would have loved to go, okay, well, nobody knows, it's not going to hurt anybody, but now that eyeballs have seen it, it's out in the open, we can't hide from it. We have to be transparent because there's nothing we can do about it.
And to also bring a bright point to the whole thing, too, is I think the products have gotten better from an autograph standpoint, maybe because the lack of game-used memorabilia has allowed them to get better autograph contents because the cases from NT have been loaded. So maybe that's the key. Maybe, hey, you get a Tom Brady jersey swatch in there, then that ups the case cost. So, it does have its yin and its yang. But
that's a good point because the amount of money that they're saving with not obtaining game-used jerseys, they can use that money to get better autograph content. Right. That's a good point. That's valid.
Kind of points I make.
I don't usually say it. I usually be like, well, you're flat wrong, but it's hard to spin that in a negative.
Well, we're supposed to be doing Optic right now. We do have a few teams left. We have the Hawks at 49. We got the Nuggets at 29. All base ship guys. Clippers at 24. Nets at 25. Pelicans at 24. Thunder at 29. And the Blazers at 28. So grab those teams for that. And we also have more Flawless today. We have random numbers. Our Flawless is almost all sold out, and we did that today. We did 3 cases today. And it was good. I mean, we hit Brett Favre auto, Aaron Rodgers auto, a Jim Brown auto, amongst a lot of other stuff. And that was just in 3 cases. So that what leads me to believe with all the player worn stuff, they were able to get those guys as autos more. I don't know. Maybe that's why. At least they haven't, and Dave, that's a good point. At least they haven't swayed away from Flawless being on card, and it went to sticker. You know, 'cause then that would be bad.
That would be an outrage.
Or having redemptions in it. So. But
how about that? How about if you pull the main hit out of a briefcase and it's an encased redemption card? Actually, wait, hold up, an encased points card.
Ooh, that would be a swift kick to the
Swift
cojones.
Kick.
Well, I want to go ahead and get set up for Optic, guys, and get this thing filled up. So we just had the hype half hour, which turned into the hype 40 minutes, but. Madison Dearborner and the Tornate Company are considering putting the top company. Oh, yeah, that was a couple weeks ago, Jeff. There's been a few people that Fanatics have been linked to it, and Gary Vaynerchuk. But I haven't heard any news on that yet. But, yeah, that's an interesting thing to follow, and we'll see if Topps does get sold. But, yeah, so I wanted to check out our rare numbers on Friday. It's our very own buyback, and we've done about 12 buybacks now, so you can see those videos on YouTube. And they're always loaded. There's always value in them. This one's a $25.99 a spot, so cheap buying price. Chance of some big stuff. And we got Flawless throughout the day. We're going to be live tomorrow. We got some hockey tomorrow. We've got more tributes throughout the week. And be sure to check out the site. Save 10% on team-style breaks with code MojoBreak. And also, there's a code right now for 15%. I think it's still valid. You can try it. So any pick your team, you can use code SHIELD, like NFL Shield, but SHIELD, and you can save 15% on any PYT. So go ahead and use that now, especially save on Optic. We're going to do it right now, so you get 15% off. Makes sense. So that is it for the show today. We'll be back next week with the next show.
And that's it. Thanks for watching this episode. Visit MojoBreak.com for more info and your break spot. And we will see you next time on